I never thought I would get cancer. You know, I was young, I was healthy, I was blowing and going. It was such a shock to hear those 3 words. I remember the first time I saw myself with no hair, I realized that this was a real thing. And that was one of the more traumatic times as I was going through the treatment when I looked at myself in the mirror and saw that I was bald. I went to see my family doctor. He took a blood test, and I got a call at work a couple days later, and he said, get to the hospital ASAP. When I was diagnosed with the cancer and they moved me up to the transplant floor at Methodist, I'm in bed, and this lady standing at the doorway, I can still picture her, and she's a volunteer here now. Her name is Ruth Davies. She was standing at the door with that CanCare brochure, and she started telling me a little bit about CanCare, and I said, hand me that brochure, I want to call right away. And I got Leonard Donaldson, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I've been trained volunteer for 15 years now. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a cancer mainly in the lymph nodes and lymphatic system.
Leonard was about the same age. We had different cancers, but we had a lot of the same symptoms. And he became my go-to guy. Leonard Donaldson was also somebody that I felt very comfortable with, and if I had to cry, I had to cry. And today, Leonard is family to me.
We began to build a relationship not only on cancer, but on just being 2 men that were fighting a disease, and 2 men that had families, 2 men that had jobs, 2 men that had careers. And then we built on that. You want to assure them that they can make it through this thing. There's no guarantee, but you want to assure them that they can do it because I did it. I went through the same thing. I went through that same experience. I went through the chemotherapy. I went through the surgery. I went through the bone marrow transplant. I went through the radiation, and I made it through, and that you can do the same thing.
You know, I always say there were 4 things that helped me, get through cancer. It was my higher power, it was the staff at Methodist Hospital, it was my family, and then it was Leonard Donaldson from CanCare. And that's what got me through cancer.
Having a friend and mentor who has been through that exact experience to answer some very basic questions as far as what's my new normal going to be, what's my new daily schedule going to look like, and having a CanCare volunteer who has been through that to help alleviate a lot of those fears and answer those questions is invaluable. Palliative care is an area of medicine that has grown significantly over the last 20 to 25 years. The emotional needs of a patient, the psychosocial needs of a patient, and the spiritual needs of a patient. And research has shown that this sort of approach has improved the survivorship of patients and the quality of life.
I remember laying in bed one time, and I said, you know what, when I get through this, I just got to do something positive with this. The thing that I did positive was to become a CanCare volunteer. Leonard Donaldson was my inspiration to become a CanCare volunteer. He convinced me by his actions, and I saw what he did for me, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing for other people. It's been very rewarding. I would recommend anybody that's a cancer survivor who has taken care of a cancer patient to become a volunteer at CanCare. We need your support. We need more volunteers, and we need more volunteers in the hospitals as well. I've been in the clothing business all of my life, and I've always worn nice clothing. But when I put on that blue lab jacket, it makes me feel better than anything I've ever put on. I feel like Superman when I put that blue coat on. I feel empowered, I feel important. My walk is even different when I put that blue coat on. I love my blue Methodist lab jacket.
There are thousands and thousands of people diagnosed with cancer every single day. And they're going through this experience all by themselves. They may win it on the physical side, but they lose it on the mental side. Some days you're really up, you're laughing, and later you may be crying, or here you think about the things going on in your life. You think about your family, your friends, and where you're going to survive this whole ordeal. So that's what CanCare allowed me to do. It gave me that passion to want to help somebody else, because I wish I had someone like that when I was going through my cancer experience. Someone to sit down and just let me know that things are going to be all right. You just got to keep fighting it, taking it one day at a time. We need CanCare. I know what it did for me, and my prayer is that I give hope to others as well.